I'll just ask Ian.
I need a pencil.
17's done.
Alt P.
Why? Go up here and get a pencil.
Lesson 17. I will solve.
Yeah, it might not be done right. All right, lesson 14. What is the possible volume for this cylinder if the diameter is 8? Well, remember, we don't need the diameter, right? We need the radius, so we're going to change that to 4. What's the possible volume? Well, we can use anything we want for height.
5.
Okay, it's 5. Then you should be able to get the volume if the height is 5. Remember the formula for cylinder. Pi r squared times the height. Radius is 4. Height is 5.
80.
Okay, so 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 5 is 80. Is that what you said?
Yep. Sounds about right.
80 pi centimeters cubed. Alt P to get that symbol. Question number 2. The volume of a cylinder. Again, the formula, we should have that down. The volume of this cylinder with a radius of 5 is 50 pi cubic units. What must be true? All right, go on to the next page. All right, so it told me the volume, I've got to write this down again, is 50
It's gonna be something like a can of tuna.
pi. Okay, it tells me the radius is 5, as I can see in the picture, right? So 5 squared times the height. And it says, all right, you figure out what the height is to get 50. Lucas, what's 5 squared?
25.
So that's 25, so I got to figure out 25 times something is going to give me this.
2.
2. So your height would have to be 2 centimeters. I think it's centimeters. Nope, just says units. Okay. So it can tell you the volume and you can find the missing piece. This is the exact same thing, except it doesn't tell me the radius. So 4 times something squared has to give me 36. So you can just trial and error, right? I can say, well, let's try 1. 1 squared times 4, is that 36? It's not 1 then. Let's try 8. 8 squared is 64. 64 times 4, is that 36? No, so it's less than 8. Let's try 2. 2 squared is 4. Is 4 times 4, 36. So it's more than 2.
3.
Let's go with
3.
3. 3 squared
9.
times 4.
36.
Bingo! So the radius has to be
3.
3. 3 squared, 9 times 4, 36. All right, we're gonna skip this. Are you ready? Because we've got a big table here to fill out, and I want to give you a chance to do so.
goody.
We're gonna do a couple of these together, and then I'm gonna have you finish it. Okay, so let's do one where it gives you the radius. All right. Well, if I know the radius is 3, that means, of course, the diameter is 6. Area of the base. Remember, the area of the base would be pi times radius squared. So 3 squared times pi, we'll just leave it as 9 pi. Then we take that times the height to get the volume. So 9 pi times 5 is 45 pi.
No crap.
Want to do one more or you want to do the rest? All right, pick one.
A blank 20.
Let's not do one like this one again. Let's do one where either one of these two.
Yeah, what about?
Well, that's going to be just the pattern that you've seen through the whole thing.
We got that 99.
Third one.
99? Okay. 99 pi. So this will obviously have a pi in it. So what times 11 would give me 99.
9.
That would be 9, which means my radius squared is 9. So that means my radius is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. That means my diameter is 6. Okay, why don't you see if you can fill out the rest? I'll give you 5 minutes or so. Othniel, ready? All right. Diameter is 12. What's the radius? This is for Othniel.
Oh.
He gets this one all by himself. You ready? We're gonna keep rolling. Radius squared
36.
times pi, and I'm gonna leave it just as that. Now I gotta figure out 36 times something is 108. You got that one? 3. Perfect. 36 times 3 is 108. Well done. Adam.
I did not do this.
Adam. If the diameter is 8, what's the radius?
4.
Yeah, see, not so hard. Next part, Adam, a little trickier. We gotta square that 4. 4 times 4.
Oh,
Like
16.
Like 16. Now the toughest one, Adam. You ready? 16 times what? Gives me 16.
1.
Woo, doggy. That was difficult. Stressed me out. You want the next one? All right. I thought this was the hardest one.
I just really want to play
It seems like the easiest one, honestly.
Okay? I know it's got to be pi. What times 100 is 16?
0.16.
0.16 is correct.
The radius is 0.4.
You got it wrong. You said it was the
And the
easiest
diameter
one.
is
I thought it was
0.8.
1.6.
I was close.
I thought it was worse.
Got it.
There you go. Ian wants the next one.
Diameter is 20. Diameter is 20.
Yeah.
And then
10 times 10. Should be 100.
Like,
and then the height is 2.
100 times 0.2 is 20, or 1/5. That'd be fine as well, 1 over 5. Depends if you want to work with fractions or decimals. Well done. How about this one? Who wants that one? Hasn't done one yet. Claire?
Radius is 10.
Well, same as the one above it. Oh, same as the one above it.
And then 3.1.
Yes.
No, it's 1. It's 1. Because it doesn't have the pi symbol.
Yeah, if this would have been a pi symbol here, you'd be right. There's no pi symbol there. So what's 100 times 3.14?
314.
So this is already 314, so the height is 1. I don't know if that was a misprint on their part or not, or they just made it a little tricky. But yeah, watch that symbol at the end. Watch that symbol at the end. All right, so on the next one. Here's my volume. If I take off the height, if I take off the b, what am I left with? Oh, I got a squared times pi. All right, the b is no longer there. If I multiply these, I get this. That's fine. So what letter here represents the radius?
A.
A. If you're Canadian, you would have got that one. Okay. What's this one then?
D.
sounds like
A times 2.
B. No.
It's not a squared.
Is it
Because
B?
that would be a times
2a. Right? You just double what's ever over here to get the diameter. So doubling a is not a times a, of course. It's a with the 2 in front. 2 a's. Questions there?
I mean, there are
A couple of those were a little tricky, but I mean, once you do one, it's kind of following the same pattern. Which direction are you going? You are going to have to fill out a chart like that on your own. It's pretty exciting. So go ahead and turn to page 125, then look at your homework first question. Doesn't have quite as many things to fill out. If it was me, I'd kind of make another column next to the diameter that says what the radius is, just to make sure I use the radius. So if you want to make another column that says radius next to the diameter, I mean, that's what you're going to need. You don't use the 4 technically. So Wyatt, that's what I would recommend. Question number 2, question number 3. I did misread number 3 when I first looked at it. It says 3 cylinders have a volume of 2,826. I thought that was combined. That's actually individually. All right. So that means cylinder A, cylinder B, cylinder C has a volume of 2826. All of them. So the first one says it has a height of 900. So pi times radius squared, height is 900. It wants to know what the radius has to be to give you 2826. So again, you could trial and error. You could try 1 squared, 1 times 900, 900 times pi. Does that give me this? If it is, then the radius is 1. If not, try 2. And so on. 4, I think you can handle, sketch it, mark the radius, the height. It does say to find the volume on page B, or part B, the next page. And then a review of looking at a graph. I think you can handle that with no issues. Notice there are different days on the bottom there. And different times as you go across as well, water height. So 1 through 5, guys, for tomorrow, please.